Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sonia, and on this channel we talk about femininity, law of attraction, self-development and inner work. Today's video is going to be the most vulnerable video I ever recorded. I'm gonna show myself with no filters, and for people who know me, they might already notice a little bit of difference in my appearance, but I'm going to explain everything. This video is for those people who are struggling with health issues, aesthetic issues, or both, or maybe change in their appearance due to several reasons, maybe aging, maybe you had an accident. And most important, we're going to talk about the correlation between beauty and identity. Maybe you develop acne, you develop an autoimmune disease, you gain weight. All your life you were fine, and then one day you were not. How to deal with this, how to find the strength inside. I'm going to tell you my story first, what happened to me, and then we're going to dive into deep topics. So even if we're talking about beauty, this video is not superficial at all. We're going from the inner beauty as you've never seen it before. This is my goal because I've been walking through hell, as many of you have and are still doing right now, but only when you walk through hell, you learn to carry your own light, your own flame. We're gonna find our strength together. So bear with me, I'm gonna tell you my story first, and then we're gonna dive into more sociological issues, what society expects from women, what beauty represents today in age. So let's start from my story. What happened to me? All my life, I've always been healthy. I always had a great skin. I eat a lot of organic foods. I got compliments for my looks many times. So I kind of associated my identity with being, let's say, a pretty girl. Until one day, something changed. My eyebrows started to fall out dozens at a time. I noticed sometimes I was just doing this and I could find eyebrows in my fingers. And I didn't know why. I thought I was stressed out. I thought it was my job that was driving me insane. I thought I was taking ashwagandha supplements and other products that I mentioned in my very first video that I'm going to take down just in case. So I didn't know what was the root of the problem, but now after months, I've been struggling with seborrheic dermatitis because it's my fault. I dug my own grave, and this is very important so you don't make the same mistake. You don't trust everything you see online, even if it's from your favorite influencer. I started to put castor oil on my eyebrows because you may know it's very popular these days for your health, for your hair, for your lashes and eyebrows. But I made a terrible mistake. I had organic, raw, cold-pressed castor oil, best quality, yes, but I never diluted with water, so I was just putting castor oil on my eyebrows. This is what I'm thinking. Nobody has verified this theory, but now after months I can see all the correlation because it was the same time when I started to use castor oil, I literally killed the bulbs, the hair bulbs, and my eyebrows started to fall. So what you see now with all these crusts is after 6 months of struggling, and this is the best it has been. I know it's ugly, but I'm actually healing. Because before, my eyebrows were just getting thinner and thinner. They were disappearing. I thought I had alopecia, or I didn't know what was going on with me from one day to the other. I started to feel very low about it. And I was living in Ireland. I had my life, I had my job. I thought it was my job that was stressing me out. I thought it was stress related, but now I think it was a combination of things. And I started to feel ashamed about the way I looked. Even if now I look at old pictures when the problem had started and I think, wow, I was still beautiful. I didn't know, I didn't have the crust I have today. But I could see the changes in my appearance. Other people, they don't focus so much on us as we think they do. But for me, it was a certainty that started to crumble. Don't worry if you're not struggling with skin conditions, dermatitis, you have other problems, or simply you cannot accept yourself in the mirror, stay with me, because this video is for everybody, for all us women who are struggling with different things. Because I believe that you may be looking at me and think, she looks fine, you can barely see that. But for every person is different. This is very personal. It's something that really has impacted me a lot. It's like if you all of a sudden had acne, maybe I would still find you gorgeous, but for you, it would be a problem. This video is about identity, how we rebuild ourselves after a defeat. It could be any kind of defeat, because some things I'm going to talk about later can be applied even after a breakup, or if you lost your job. If you look at my previous videos, you can see a lot of difference. And it's ironic that I had just started my YouTube channel about femininity and beauty, and I was suggesting beauty products, how to be amazing, take care of every inch of your body, and then this happened to me, and I had to stay off camera for a while. It took a lot of guts to show up here today, and I cheated a little bit. I got very sensitive products from the chemist, like a tiny bit of, just, you see, eyeliner at my own risk. I put it for the first time because I couldn't wear makeup for months. As I didn't want to be seen in Ireland, I wanted to escape. So I moved to Gran Canaria because I wanted to disappear before I disappeared. I felt like my face was so bland that nobody would ever look at me again. And I know this might sound selfish, but imagine all your life you've always had beautiful eyes, you always had compliments for your eyes, you always held eye contact with everybody, you were confident, and then everything changes. So you can no longer wear makeup, because mine wasn't just an aesthetic problem. When I moved to Gran Canaria, I was in a hostel because I moved with work away. So I was supposed to volunteer in a hostel for a few hours per day in exchange for accommodation. I talk about this experience in my previous video, what I've learned in Gran Canaria. Problem is, I made everything worse. Of course, the hostel wasn't the perfect clean place that you can imagine. We were cleaning a lot, but there were 2 cats, 1 dog, a lot of people, a lot of dust, a lot of sand from the sea, and we were supposed to clean, and my eyes got really irritated, and all this part here goes together. So if you have dermatitis in your eyebrows, it's very likely that you're gonna get some problems in your how do you call this part here? Well, I don't know, my English today is not coming to me. But the very next day after I slept in a dorm with a cat, my eyes were red like fire. They were burning so much, and I would cry unintentionally 5 times per day after that, every day. Since the day I moved into the hostel, it's been more than a month, 1 month and a half. Every day my eyes burn and I start crying. I spent a lot of money in medication. I went to the chemist, I got eye drops, they didn't work, there were herbs that were irritating my eyes, so it was a mess. So I couldn't wear any makeup, and not even any product, any cream, nothing, just me and my baby face. Imagine, for somebody who was used to always show her face on camera. I did some modeling before. We're gonna talk about this later, but I think I didn't know then, but maybe I was a little bit vain, or at least I took my beauty for granted, and I shouldn't have, because I know I have other qualities, but it's easier to say, and it's easier when it's not happening to you than when it happens to you. I think beauty is such a big part now today in age. It's our business card, let's say. So I still had to live a normal life. I was in a hostel. I had to greet guests pretending everything was fine, even if I was in the middle of something and I had to stop because I was crying. But they didn't care. They cared about my kindness. So people don't really focus on our problems as much as we do. But I cannot say it wasn't a big deal, because it was for me. And maybe for you, there's something you're struggling with. Maybe you have crooked teeth like I do as well. I'm not hiding that. I'm learning to accept myself better, but it took so much time, and this journey really helped me. So this may seem superficial, that I ran like a coward. Well, I already wanted to quit my job and change my life. I wanted to settle down in Gran Canaria, somewhere sunny, That was my plan. But everything was falling apart because I moved to a hostel first. It didn't work out. I had all these, I thought it was an allergy to the cat. You see, I spent months thinking, oh, it could be this, could be that. The doctor didn't know. It was hard. It was very hard. And also I'm used to release my stress in kickboxing, and that got taken away from me as well because I had to keep my face super clean, so no sweat, no punches in my eyes, and nothing. I trained once and I regret it because the next day I was feeling worse. And I remember just walking in Gran Canaria on my own because I was traveling solo, and my eyes would start crying and burning, and I would just reach for a bench to put my eye drops, and strangers would look at me thinking, why is a girl crying alone in this beautiful paradise? You never know what people are going through. At the same time, when I was in the hostel, and I mentioned this as well in my other video about Gran Canaria, I really learned to live life from the inside. That was the first little sign. And I remember when we were 11, when we were kids, we were going on holidays. We didn't care about how we looked. We would jump in the sea, do this, do that. While now that we're a bit older, even if we don't know it, we don't realize, we're so conditioned to really check our appearance. Men will never understand like all the steps women do before leaving the house. We have to check we are in order, we look good. The majority of us, some women really don't care. And when I was at my lowest, I didn't care. Like, I was struggling so much. I stopped taking care of myself completely. I was looking like a ghost in my worst days. I have so many pictures. Yeah, that was me. But I met people in the hostel, especially one girl. She was living as well without makeup, but she was gorgeous. She was so confident, so beautiful, and she really inspired me. Because what if beauty didn't matter? What if we had to rely on our personality? And I barely had time to get ready anyway in the hostel because I was always rushed, and there were a lot of people that needed to use the bathroom. So it was really a challenge for me. It was a military camp about learning really not to rely on beauty. As women, we learn from a young age that beauty equals our identity and sometimes our value. It's so sad, but it's the way it is. It's like money. We need money to survive, whether you like it or not. The same for pretty privilege. Pretty privilege is real. When you look good, you have more chances of succeeding in life, unless you have a very outstanding intelligence, and that's different. But your beauty will get you into doors, in rooms that you never thought possible. But then it's intelligence that keeps you in the room. However, our face is our business card, especially today in age with social media. If you are a beautiful girl, use it to your advantage. Don't be shy. There's too many girls that always hold back. They are afraid of being beautiful. And I've been struggling with this as well. It's a paradox. My life is a paradox. Because when you are too beautiful, too sexy, other people are gonna get jealous, you're gonna get criticized, you're gonna get raped. I cannot say here. They blame on you as well. So we tend to, okay, play it cool, tone it down a little bit. But if you have that beauty, that edge, that scroll stopping face, use it. Because people are more likely to watch your video if you are good looking. Like, two people could be saying the exact same thing, but if one is put together, looks well, you have more chances of watching her video or his video until the end, rather than somebody else who looks a bit rough and not taken care of. Because we associate other traits. When we see a beautiful person, we think this person is also confident, probably wealthy, has his life together, but it's not necessarily the case. But it's true in many cases that beauty equals confidence. When you are beautiful, you have more chances of making a first impression, a great first impression at a job interview, when you arrive with your nice outfit, your hair in order, a bit of makeup, doesn't have to be too much, but you look clean, you look good, not, you don't have to be a top model, it's not what I'm saying, but you have to take care of yourself. And when I was struggling with this, which is already almost gone now, I don't know if you can see yellow, crust, all sorts of things. But when I had a lot of crust and my eyebrows were looking completely white, as if I was 80 years old, I was afraid people wouldn't accept me in interviews, in job interviews. They would turn me down. Especially I went for an interview in Gran Canaria for a perfumery, and then I got the job, but I didn't take it because it was too far away from my home. But I thought maybe it was just my idea that they would reject me because I was looking like a mess. As women, we learn this from a young age. I remember when I was 11, yes, I was going on the beach and having fun, but also my male classmates, they would write a list of who's the prettiest girl in the class and all the rest. And I grew up in a place in my hometown, restaurant, they put signs, we are looking for a good looking waitress, or only good looking people shall apply. This is unheard of in Ireland because of equality. In Ireland, you don't even put your picture in a CV, but in Italy, this is different. In Italy, you put your picture and you get the job if you're beautiful. This is unfortunately how we grew up. It's not me who is obsessed with beauty, it's just how the world works, unfortunately. And that is also the other side of the spectrum. We are punished for being beautiful. In some cases, men or people in general don't take us seriously because we are beautiful. They think if we're beautiful, then we cannot be that smart. But this is complete BS. And also there is fear of being beautiful, as I mentioned. And I talked about this in detail in my video, your fear of being successful. Your fear of success is holding you back. Because I talk about the movie Malena, where beauty is a double-edged sword. I'm really interested in the topic of beauty because it has so many shades. It's not just about makeup, it's about identity, success, changes, like adapting to changes as a tree adapts that to all the seasons. The tree adapts that sometimes it has to lose its leaves. Like I lost my eyebrows and then they will grow again in the spring, hopefully. And social media made everything worse. It really brought it to the extreme. So our face has to be flawless. We don't have to have any imperfection. Our face has to be symmetrical and our eyebrows have to be super full because that's the trend now. And all this. And imagine being a young girl and all these things are implanted in your brain. Men are also allowed to age. They become sexier and sexier, while women are expected to be forever young, forever beautiful. And not only that, but if you walk in any supermarket or in any pharmacy, any shopping mall, all products on the shelves remind you that there is something wrong with you. Say if you use a shampoo for your hair, yes, but you need the conditioner, you need the oil, and you need the glossing because your hair is not shiny enough. Your hands are not dry enough, your face has wrinkles. So it's all society made in a way that it really makes you think that like beauty is everything. But as I was struggling, I started to understand that this is not true. And I'm stronger now that I have ever been before, especially for showing up on camera with this skin condition. Me, I've always been a bit of a perfectionist, but fuck it. I am more than my face. I am more than my eyebrows. I am more than my beauty. I have other qualities that I found inside of me when nothing else was left, let's say, in a bit dramatic way. Sorry, I'm a drama queen. Anyway, there is a fine line between health, like you want to take care of yourself, and obsession. If you base your entire personality around beauty, you're going to struggle a lot, especially after 30, 40, 50. You need to really build yourself from the inside, because when your body starts changing, you won't be prepared for that. So in a way, this little accident, which is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, I know it. I just want to create a video and talk about this topic for people who are struggling with some kind of imperfections and things like that. So it's not a big deal, but it's teaching me that the body can change. And it could get way worse. There could be problems way bigger than stupid eyebrows. You know, when I was saying sometimes I was looking at old pictures and I was still looking beautiful, and let alone before the problem happened. Like last year, I was so radiant and I didn't know it. We always find something to complain about while we are so lucky. So lucky. We don't know. And imagine how a person who has cancer should feel when they look at old pictures and they think, wow, here on the beach, I didn't have cancer yet. I was so lucky. I was so beautiful and I didn't know it. Because you see, losing my eyebrows, even if you don't see it now, but the way it was a few months ago, reminded me of cancer, of chemotherapy, of people losing their hair, their lashes, their eyebrows, and keep fighting with the strength of a lioness. And it's amazing, it's impressive. And I think it's really these things that make you compassionate, make you understand life better, and make you understand that really beauty is important, but it's just one slice of the whole cake. And if you don't have that, you have anything else. Now let's start talking about something better, how I reacted to the problem, how I lift myself up. So I started to think about what I could control and what I couldn't control. So I had no control on how long it would take to heal, how many eyebrows I would lose each day, but I could control, for example, my hair. I could control my posture, my walk. So I thought, okay, I leave my face alone. I won't do anything. I will show up in the world with my baby face and act as if I had the confidence of wearing a full face makeup. But I also decided, why don't I start working on my body, for example? And I started to work out every day. Now I've been consistent for 2 weeks. I want to do minimum 21 days to build a habit. I was used to work out a lot in the past, then I kind of lost it between busy life of adulthood. Yeah, work out, go shopping, buy new clothes, because you need to learn to live with your new identity. Like it or not, this is big. It's the death of the old you, the person who you were used to know. The innocent, sweet, beautiful girl is dead, and you cannot go back to that. You don't see a hero going back to who he was before he changed it. Life goes on, so you need to recreate your identity and really look inside yourself and think about what makes you strong. What do you like? What makes your eyes shine? I'm a musician as well, so I had to go basking as well without makeup. Imagine showing yourself in the world doing the same thing, like performing in public, having a public speech, dancing, whatever you're doing. Imagine doing it now completely without makeup, with no filters. And I know it's easy for some girls who never wear makeup or they just wear very little, but if you were like me, a bit more of a perfectionist, it's a little bit difficult to do your favorite thing that when makeup really makes you confident. But it's just temporary, because then when you cannot wear makeup, you're not confident anymore. And I admit that I wasn't feeling confident at the beginning. I had to fake it a lot, and I'm still not confident. I'm still struggling a lot. One day I was in a shopping mall and I couldn't look at anybody in the eyes because I thought that everybody was looking at me and at my defects, while probably they were just thinking about buying the Christmas presents. And I've been struggling, but I was kind of in the middle. I recognize that beauty is important, but I'm also very focused on the inner work. Because if you don't do the inner work, the new dress, the new pair of earrings, they won't do anything for you. You need both. You know, if you have beauty, use it to your advantage, but you cannot rely exclusively on beauty, because beauty is not forever and beauty is not guaranteed. And this experience really taught me to let go of control. I was trying to control my beauty in the past and I didn't know it. Now I have to learn to live without makeup, to let it heal by itself. Yes, I can put some dermatological creams here, very sensitive sometimes, but I have no control over it. And there have been a lot of changes in my habits as well. People don't realize how much one thing can impact your entire lifestyle. For example, I was used to wash my hair and it would be a ritual for me. It would take me 2-3 hours to wash my hair. I would light a candle. I would really relax. I would do it once or twice per week after work. Just for me, washing my hair was something to really look forward to. It was my me time, and now it's a nightmare because I have to wear a hairband here. I cannot let any water, any soap, any shampoo or conditioner fall down on my eyebrows and not even on the skin here. So I have to wash my hair really, really fast with my head tilted back as if I was at the hairdresser with the hairband. It's very, very stressful. And yeah, this is something I have to live with now. I don't have kickboxing to release my stress. I don't have taking my day to wash my hair anymore. So it's those little things. I think it's habits sometimes that really make a personality, and when you can no longer rely on them, it's difficult. It's really a loss. It's the death of the old you. You have to learn how to live with your new identity. The same thing happened when I tore my hamstring and I was on crutches because I trained in martial arts, so I had an injury. And all my life I thought I was so strong until when I learned that we are vulnerable. Everything can change in a split second. So we should really be grateful for what we have. If you don't have any problem at the moment, be so grateful. Don't worry about all the products. I'm obsessed about all the problems. Just really appreciate what you have. And in my little world, I appreciate that my eyebrows didn't fall out completely. I try to appreciate the little things, but it's hard, especially because I was traveling on my own. I was often alone with my thoughts in Gran Canaria. The sun, the wind didn't help to heal my situation at all. I ran away to heal and I made the situation way worse. So I decided to go back to Ireland, and it's gonna be difficult because it's like people are gonna see me. They're gonna see the real me, not the one with the mask, not the perfect face, but the real face. The person I have become through struggles, the person I have become when I couldn't rely on my beauty and I had to find my inner strength. The singer who can sing without having to rely on her looks. Real beauty comes from the inside. Real beauty is the fire you have in your heart. Because even if my eyebrows are not perfect, I can still sing, I can still dance, I can still work out, I can still make you laugh. Not in today's video because it's so serious and depressing, but usually I can make people laugh. I can be a good friend, a good daughter, a good sister. This experience makes you more compassionate as well. Now I'm thinking when my partner was starting to lose his hair here on top of the head, like it happens to any man after the age of 30, and sometimes even before. So I could see that he was struggling, and I was there with him, I supported him, and for me it was never an issue. I never ever considered him less attractive. I never lost my feelings for him. But now I understand how he felt when he started to buy products to try to cover the issue, when he left some of his hair longer to again cover, and only now that I've been through changes in my body, myself, I know how he felt. And yes, I was there, but only now I am totally there. We should never judge other people in what they're going through. Also, this whole experience made me think about the novel Blindness by José Saramago, a Portuguese author. What if the whole world suddenly became blind and we had to experience life from the inside? Beauty wouldn't matter. All that would matter would be our inner beauty, our personality, our strength, the way we adapt to change. The book is actually a bit more cynical than this, and it shows that when people have to survive because they can't see, so they have to look for food. They become really, they show their true nature, but I don't want to spoil the book. It was just a reflection on what if anyone was blind? How would you find love? You would look for how a person is inside, and I think this is really, really beautiful. And even if I've learned so much in the last few months, and I'm wiser, and I'm talking like a granny, I still don't master this idea of this connection between beauty and identity, like maybe a real 80-year-old woman may master. I'm thinking, you know, when in society after the age of 30, if you're a woman, like it seems like we're dead, but we're not. We're just getting started, baby. But then 40, 50, 60, and it's like people disappear. When you're 70, nobody thinks of you. Oh yeah, she was a ballet teacher. Everybody thinks, oh look at the old lady. You lose your identity. So in a way, I'm an old soul, so I'm already lost my identity with this little mistake that I made, and made me realize so many things about myself, and also gave me the inspiration to write my next book. I haven't told anyone yet, so I cannot spoil anything, but it's really in the times of struggle and in the times of chaos that you find your true strength, and this is beautiful. And as a conclusion, because this video has been long and I know I deviated a lot, I didn't say all the things I wanted to say. I had all my notes, but I'm also so passionate about this topic, so I hope I didn't bore you. But I wanted to say that if you turn your pain into art or into creativity, like this, recording a video, tell your story, let your voice out, then you start healing. And I noticed that the day I started to work out, go for walks, buy new clothes, work on my art, work on my music, have ideas for videos and books, I started to heal. Because the less I look at myself in the mirror, the better I felt. And one day I managed to wear a nice outfit, a killer red rain jacket, and I gave myself a task that you should do as well as your homework. Even if you're not feeling confident right now, wear a nice outfit, something powerful, or even not, or maybe wear earphones with your favorite song, if it's a safe place, because nowadays you don't know, and walk as if you were the most confident woman in the world. I did it one day and my energy really shifted. Even if the day before I cried so much, my face was a mess, the next day I walked with my head up, my shoulders back, as if I owned the road, and everybody was looking at me, even if my face was a mess. So sometimes it's really the energy that matters. People don't care about your little imperfections. Think about your crush. Do you notice if he has one white hair? No, probably not. So it's the energy you project and how you make people feel that really, really, really matters. So remember this. And now I'm in Italy with my mom, with my family. I'm taking care of my mom, who is not well and has some health issues that are a bit more serious than dermatitis. So everything is making me change perspective about things, but I'm really growing, I'm really evolving. I became so old in just 1 month of traveling and escaping from my problems. But I just wanted to share with you this. I hope you found value from this video. And if you're struggling, remember that you're not alone. We're all going through different struggles. But I hope this particular topic, because not many people talk about this, I hope this relieved you in some ways. I gave you the strength. Really put your favorite song on and dance like a goddess, even if you don't have any makeup, even if your hair is oily, even if you have acne, even if you gained I don't know how many pounds, even if you're struggling with autoimmune diseases or other diseases. Play your favorite song and dance as if you were to die tomorrow, let's say. I don't know if that's a good thing, but like dance like a queen, like a goddess, and build yourself, because remember that we are renting a body for a temporary time on earth, but we are a soul, and we have our fire, we have our passion, our dreams. And don't let anything, don't let a little scar, a little scratch on your physical body mess up with your dreams. You're here for a purpose, you're here to follow your mission. Don't worry about how you look, because even heroes, they look a mess when they're fighting and they're winning battles. So you're a hero, you're a survivor. Be patient with yourself. Remember that healing is not linear. One day you feel better, you feel like you're over the worst, and the next day you're 10 steps behind. So be patient and love yourself through the rough days, the good days, the okay days. Nobody knows you as well as you do. You are your best friend. You are your best lover. Love yourself, spoil yourself, buy yourself flowers. Go for a walk in your favorite place and experience beauty like when you were a kid. You would go to the playground with messy hair. You didn't care because you wanted to experience life so much, with so much energy and vitality that it got taken away from us because we're always worried about how we look. Sometimes we cancel dates or parties because we don't feel good enough, or we don't have an outfit, or we're a bit bloated. And that's so silly, because one day all this is going to be over. And beauty is not everything, and I hope people will realize it. Thank you for watching and crossing this stormy sea with me. But don't worry, because I can see the shore is not far. We are healing. Thank you so much for watching this video and being here with me until the end. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. Thank you for your support. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You're going to find a lot of videos talking about inner work, self-development. Some are a bit more like outside focus, but the majority are focused on the inside. And I bet I had to experience firsthand what it means to lose beauty, to find myself before recording this video. And this is what happened. I thought I had lost beauty, but I have found myself. Thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart. Truly. Thank you.